Welcome to StorySpin. I'm Rory, and apparently this is what I do with my free time now. If you've ever wondered how messy people's relationships really get, you're in the right place. Let's dive in, because trust me, it's worse than you think. All right, today's story is a masterclass in how to let a childhood friend haunt your marriage like a passive-aggressive ghost. Let's get into it. This story comes from True Off My Chest. My husband's childhood best friend asked me for a favor, then humiliated me in front of her family. I am done being the bigger person. I have been sitting on this for a few days, trying to decide if I am just being dramatic or if I have been letting too much slide for too long. So, I am a 30-year-old female who has been happily married for a few years now. My husband, who is 31, is honestly a gem. He is kind, patient, hilarious, and loyal. Basically everything you would want. Which, after having an ex cheat on me with his best friend, is kind of a big deal. That relationship wrecked me for a while, but I worked hard not to drag the wreckage into something new. And my husband? Thankfully, my husband has never given me a single reason to question him. Until now? Maybe? I do not know. My husband and I have a great relationship, and we are pretty social and often hang out with each other's friends. I get along with almost all of his group, and they have honestly made me feel welcome, except for her, his childhood best friend. Let's call her Clare. Clare has always been cold to me, not outright rude, just subtle enough to make me feel crazy for noticing. You know that kind of vibe? Every time we have been in the same room, she has managed to talk around me, not to me. I tried. I really did. I have smiled, made conversation, been nothing but warm, even when she has given me nothing to work with. She does not show up to group hangouts, but she will invite him over, and he always tells me, to his credit. He never goes without mentioning it, and he has never been weird or secretive about her. But it still rubs me the wrong way. I have tried being friendly, I have tried small talk, I even invited her to our birthdays, barbecues, and engagement dinner. She bailed on all of them. She skipped our wedding too, and she only ever seems to reach out to him, usually when she has just been dumped and needs to talk. When I have brought it up, my husband says I am overthinking it, that Claire is just a little odd socially. Maybe she is. Then, a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, she messaged me. She asked if I would model for her project, totally unexpected, and I was caught off guard enough to say yes. Part of me thought maybe this is her trying to connect. Maybe this was her olive branch. I even felt a little hopeful. I was naive. So I agreed. My husband offered to come with me since he had not seen her in a while and thought it would be fun to catch up after. When we got there, her family was also involved. And from the second I walked in, it was like stepping into some passive-aggressive Twilight Zone. Her mom and sister kept calling my husband our son-in-law. I laughed awkwardly and thought I must have misheard. It only got worse. During the shoot, there were more of the snarky comments, jokes about the one that got away and some bonds never fade. Her mom at one point literally said we always thought Claire would end up with him, but life has its detours, I guess. Claire always imagined walking down the aisle with him, and then said it is sweet of her to fill in though. I wish I was exaggerating, and Claire just kept snapping pictures, smiling, saying nothing. No, hey, cut it out. No awkward laugh, no redirect, nothing. My husband was clearly uncomfortable. I watched him fidget through the whole thing, clear his throat a few times. He tried to change the subject or came near me during the shooting. He did not say much either, just went kind of quiet. I stuck it out for an hour, let her take her photos, smiled, posed, whatever. But the whole time I felt like I was part of a social experiment, and everyone else was in on the joke but me. When we got in the car, he was silent for a while, then finally said sorry about all that was weird, right? And honestly, I did not even know what to say. Because yeah, it was weird. It was borderline disrespectful. And the fact that he was there, saw all of it, clearly felt it too, and still did not step in or pull the plug. It makes me feel kind of alone in this. I am just tired. Tired of pretending this woman is harmless or just awkward. She knows exactly what she is doing. I do not want to start a huge fight, but I am at the point where I do not want her in our lives. Not as a friend, not as a ghost in the corner of our marriage. No more bending over backwards to be the cool wife. I am not interested in earning points with someone who clearly does not want me around. Anyway, thanks for letting me scream into the void for a minute. I really needed to get this out. Edit. Sorry guys, English is not my first or even second language. Sometimes it is harder to get my points and feelings across. Just to clarify a few things people were asking about. Claire is actually a photography major, and this shoot was part of her final project. I am not a professional model or anything, but I have done some hobby modeling here and there, so when she asked if I would help out, I thought it was a casual favor. Why at her house? She comes from a wealthy family and has a fully set up photo studio in their house, which is why the shoot happened there instead of at a regular studio. I honestly thought it would just be her and the camera, not a full audience with drinks and commentary. Additional background. I grew up in a pretty emotionally abusive household, so I think I have gotten too used to passive-aggressive comments and just sort of freeze up. Maybe that is why I did not react more in the moment. But yeah, it definitely hit harder after the fact. I will update you as soon as possible. No Strawberry 5804 said, borderline disrespectful? I would hate to see what you think is actually disrespectful. OP replied, wow, reading your comment, and honestly so many others, has really helped me see just how not okay that whole situation was. I think I was so used to brushing off this kind of behavior that I did not even realize how deeply disrespected I was. I grew up in an emotionally abusive household where snide comments and passive aggression were just part of the background noise. So when someone pulls that kind of crap now, I think a part of me automatically minimizes it like, oh, I have heard worse. But reading all your reactions kind of snapped me out of that. And yeah, it hurts that my husband did not shut it down. I have been trying to rationalize it in my head, like maybe he did not want to escalate things because it felt like a trap, or that he is not used to being in these kinds of situations. None of that excuses it though, not even a little. I am going to talk to him tomorrow. Really talk. Not brush it off, not laugh it away. Just lay it all out. Because at this point, I need to know where he stands. Thanks for the reality check. I needed it more than I realized. Orange Gringo said, I got to be honest. The whole modeling session photography stuff sounds 100% unbelievable. That does not even make sense at all. Are you a model? Is she a photographer? Why a photo shoot in their home? Why all the family members there? That is not how photo shoots work, really. OP. Yeah, honestly, I get why it sounds off. I probably would have side-eyed the whole thing too if I was not living it in real time. So no, I am not a professional model. She just needed someone for a thesis project. And I have done a little hobby modeling here and there, so I figured it was casual enough to help out. I guess she did not want to go through the trouble of hiring someone last minute. As for the location, Claire comes from money. Like, money. They had converted part of their house into a kind of makeshift studio for her to work in with lighting, backdrops, the whole deal. So that is where we did it, which I did not think was too weird until I got there and her whole family was hanging around like it was dinner theater. Drinking wine, making snide comments, just watching. It was honestly awkward as hell. I definitely was not expecting that. I thought it would just be her and a camera, not a whole audience and running commentary. OP posted an update. Funny enough, I did not even get the chance to sit down and talk to my husband before something else happened. I just cannot believe my life at the moment. Anyway, I was still trying to process what happened and sort through my anger towards Claire and honestly toward my husband too. That is when I got a message from my sister-in-law. We will call her Madeline. I am really close with Madeline. She is also part of the wider social circle that Claire floats around in. They are friendly, but not close. She sent me a screen recording from Claire's close friend's story with a simple "what the F?" It was a clip of me posing during the shoot, no music, but in the background, you can clearly hear Claire's sister say, Claire should have been the one to marry him. I lost it. I waited until my husband got home from work, sat him down, and showed him the video. He watched it once, then again. His whole face changed. He finally looked pissed. I could not help but think, why did he not have the same reaction there? So I laid it all out. I told him everything, every snide comment, every time Claire made me feel small, how I had always tried to be civil, how I never asked him to choose between us. But I was done being polite while someone consistently disrespected me. I told him, if this does not bother you enough to act, we have got a bigger problem. I am not going to be in a marriage where I have to beg to be defended. I need a partner who stands up for me. And if that is not you, then I need to rethink this. He did not argue, he did not get defensive, and I know he feels sorry. Then I showed him the Reddit post. He tried to read every comment. Some of them made him tear up. When he finished, he looked at me and said that he feels like the worst husband. He let this happen right in front of him. He is so sorry. And asked me, what do you need from me now? I told him straight up, this is not just about her anymore. It is about whether or not you are willing to protect this marriage. But I am not going to feel like I am second place in my own relationship. So it is either me or her. So we called Claire. She picked up all cheerful, acting like nothing had happened. We brought up the video. She immediately got defensive. Oh, come on, it was just a joke. Are you really mad over that? And that is when he stepped in. This is not just about the video. It is the constant disrespect toward my wife. I did not say anything before because I did not want to lose your friendship. And I convinced myself you did not mean it. But what happened at that shoot? That was disgusting. My wife came to support you, and you and your family treated her like a joke. I did not speak up then, and I am ashamed of that. But that ends now. I do not even know why I held on to this friendship for so long. If you cannot respect my wife, you do not respect me. She laughed, literally laughed. Wow, you are really cutting me off over that girl? Oh my gosh, I was ready to fight. But my husband calmed me down, said to Claire, if choosing between you and my wife ever felt like a hard decision, I would not deserve her. We are not kids anymore. You need to grow up. I simply do not want to be your friend anymore. I have nothing else to say. But yeah, we blocked her and her entire family. Since then, he has been checking in with me, not trying to fix things, just showing up, listening, understanding. He finally sees what I have been dealing with. We have still got some healing to do, but now I know where he stands, and that changes everything for me. To everyone who commented last time, thank you. Seriously, you helped me feel like I was not crazy. And maybe even more importantly, you helped him finally see it too. Dissatisfied Optimist commented, this is what apologizing looks like. Address your shortcomings, ask what to do to fix it, and act with intent to remedy the situation at hand in order to mend the one at risk. It sucks that a guy sometimes has to get slapped across the face with something that is so obvious, but it is how he responded that was redeeming. That is enough secondhand embarrassment for one day. Here is something stupidly wholesome or petty. You decide. This is not anything crazy, just something funny that I want to tell people about but cannot risk getting caught. My husband, who is 30 years old, and I, also 30, have been together for 8 years. For the past couple of years, I make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day to take to work. I use Welch's Grape Concord jelly. This is important for later. Every day he tells me that I make the best sandwiches, and I just say I make it with love. However, when we are fighting, he always says he can taste the difference in his peanut butter and jelly, and I say because I made it with hate. But the truth is, he can taste the hate in his sandwich because when we fight, I use organic, sugar-free grape jam. It is in the back of the fridge and he has never seen it, so it is what I use to convince him that he cannot make me mad, or my anger makes food taste different. Like I said, this is not anything crazy, but it is something I always get a giggle out of and thought all of you would too. Some of the top comments from the post. Candid Number commented, "You do make it with hate." Shetty replied, "I was really preparing to be like, please do not do that and just be honest and open with your partner, but man, that was too good." Princess Trashbag commented, "Naughty husbands get the sad jam." Noah Vale said, "Not exactly grapes of wrath, but well played." All right, from friendship drama to weaponized grape jelly. I think that is enough internet for one day. Catch you in the next disaster.